Hi, I'm Peter Lawrence and I'm here to talk about Dedoctive, our solution for providing users with answers to questions. The problem is most organizations have large quantities of documents that contain significant knowledge that is inaccessible to the average user. We could text index this library using a text search tool, just as Google does, but this will only find similar text, not answers to users' questions such as what should be the width of the driveway according to local regulations. We could restructure the corpus into a database, but the ETL process for text and images is extremely difficult. Even then, ad hoc questions from users of the database data are not exactly user-friendly. We could train or fine-tune an AI on this corpus of knowledge. This is either incredibly expensive or very difficult when one's only got unstructured data. Even then, we cannot be certain what knowledge the AI system is going to use to answer the question. Our knowledge that we've trained it on, some other knowledge that it has been trained on, or even hallucinating. Well, Deductive solves this by creating a comprehensive knowledge analysis of the document library. And it makes that knowledge within these documents readily available to users, as I will show. Deductive does this by performing a fine-tuned, detailed analysis of these documents from which it creates a very comprehensive knowledge model. Users want to ask their own questions. So what Deductive does is take questions using natural language, and then it refers to the knowledge model to assemble all of the relevant facts. This includes deducing hidden connections, which provide additional information that is vital for fully understanding the question. Deductive then uses the powers of large language models to assemble the answer from these and only these facts. However, many users lack trust in answers provided by black boxes. This is true of corporate data warehouses, but has been exacerbated recently by fake news, AI hallucinations, and dubious data sources. Deductive adds provenance to each of its answers, referencing to the source of knowledge within the document corpus, thus providing that trust. And now for the demos. Hi, I'm Peter Lawrence and here to demonstrate Dedoctive, a tool that is going to allow users to ask their questions of a comprehensive library of their documents. We can choose the library. I'm going to choose the library of Surrey's planning guidelines. And to help answer the questions, I'm going to adopt a persona. Now, the persona I'm going to do is interested party. I can have any particular persona that I want, a meaningful persona. What query are we going to ask? Well, to save the typing, as you can see, my typing's not very good. I've pre-populated with some questions. So I'm going to ask, what is the minimum carriageway width associated with roads according to these guidelines? And the instructions, well, I want it to adhere to planning guidelines. Again, I could enter what text I want here to guide the answer. So now I submit the question. It prepares the answer and returns the response. And we can see with the answer, it's telling me 3.7 meters for single lane, 4.1 meters, the minimum width of a car, and 5.3 meters. Well, there's some interesting facts here. How do I know that they're right? Well, what I can do is if I click on these links, it's going to take me to the source of the documents here on the right and show me exactly where that information is coming from to preserve the trust that I have in these answers. Let's go back. Let's choose a different question. Here I have a library of reports from environmental wastewater treatment projects that have taken place. And I want to ask some questions from this library about the projects and the project costs. So I'm going to be an environmental specialist, and the question again, I'm going to ask, what is the individual and total costs of all the projects? And the guidelines now, because I'm interested in project accounting. Let's submit that question to the Dedoctive. It is now assembling the answer from that. And there's the answer, a very thorough answer referring to each of the projects that it found, finding the individual costs. I didn't say what type of costs. And then here's a summary of the projects, and it's even totaled those projects for me. Now, that information again is coming from the source of those documents. So what I could do is click on there, and again, it will take me to the original source of the document from which it extracted that information. And finally, let's ask another question. This time I'm going to ask a question from some published retrofit information, the type of documents that help you guide on what type of changes you want to do to your house or whatever. And so I'm interested in myself, what are the typical costs associated with air source heat pumps? And again, I'm going to make sure I'm adhering to the planning guidelines. Submit the query, it goes off to that extensive corpus and comes back with this information. And here, there's the installation of the heat pump, total estimated cost of those, and again, cross-referenced to the source of information.